as Kayode Egbetokun takes over as the 22nd Inspector General of Police. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Mojit Jamiu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Most times, sweeping changes are required to sanitize a system for optimum outputs. On Monday, President Bola Tinubu made such changes with the sacking of service chiefs and appointment of new ones, as well as some political positions. President Tinubu also appointed Adeni Bashir Adewale as the acting Controller General of the Customs, as well as new commander of the National Guard and other military officers for Aso Villa. One of the new security chiefs, the acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has been decorated with his new rank. After his decoration by the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, Egbetokun was at the Louis Edet Force Headquarters, Abuja. Let's share the story with you.
It's a stage. You come, you walk, and you go. I'm happy I'm handing over to somebody I know that will carry the mantle of leadership from where I have stopped. We grew up together. I was his boss at a time, not even when I was IG. He worked under me twice. We've been working together, and I know how he can go ahead to champion the cause of the police from where I have stopped.
I really can't describe how I feel presently, but if I have to tell you anything, I will tell you that right now, I feel like a tiger inside of me, ready to chase away all the criminals in Nigeria. And some other time, I feel like a lion in me, ready to devour all the enemies, internal enemies of Nigeria. That's my feeling right now. Thank you.
IGP Egbetokun feeling like a lion, ready to devour all, criminal elements in Nigeria. Good to go. Morale is high, as you will see. Morale is very high. President Tinubu's choice of Egbetokun as IGP, Jide.
Actually, it didn't come to me as a surprise because politicians are very predictable. When it comes to this kind of situation, they want to work with people that they are familiar with, that they had worked with over the years. And this IG was his chief security officer when he was governor of Lagos. The relationship continued. So naturally, he must have counted himself lucky that at the time when Asiwaju won the election and became president, he was still in the police. Because the way it is now, he has roughly 1 year and 2 months left. The police is supposed to go, I think, in September. So with Asiwaju as president, his boss, naturally, Asiwaju will want to work with someone like that because he had known him for long. They had worked together. They understand one another. And, loyalty is very key in this kind of appointments. Except we want to deceive ourselves. Loyalty is very key. If you can find someone that you have worked with for some time that you trust, it's so easy for you to pick that person especially when the person is qualified. He was already a DIG, which makes him shoehorn for that kind of position. We've seen some president that went to bring
AIG.
junior AIG.
Yeah.
Swept
Remember
everything.
what happened when Buhari just took over?
In 2015.
Junior AIG. And the gale of forced retirement was the highest in Nigerian history.
Yeah.
They even went to court, if you remember.
Yeah,
Went to court to say, what's the meaning of
DIGs,
you know, so
all the police management guys.
the good thing is some of the DIGs are his juniors, some of them are his mates.
Yes.
It's up to him to decide what to do. If he feels like working with them, they won't be compulsorily retired. But if he doesn't feel comfortable working with some of them, of course, they will have to go. But Asiwaju, when you look at Egbetokun's CV, of course, you cannot argue that, look, this is a man prepared for the job. He was CP in Kwara. He was CP Explosive Ordnance Department, those in charge of, the bomb squad. He served as Squadron Commander, Mopol 5 in Benin City. He was Chief Superintendent of Police Lagos Command. He was Commander, Rapid Response Squad in Lagos State. He was Area Commander in Gusau, Zamfara State. He was also Area Commander in Sokoto State, which means that he has also moved around. Then he was AIG in charge of Zone 7 Abuja, from where he was elevated to the rank of DIG in charge of criminal investigations. That was his last posting. He's urbane, quiet, very sound, and well-grounded in operational matters. So you can see there's a strategy. Asiwaju went for the best operations officer in the army, and that's Lagbaja. Now, he has also picked an IG that is very grounded in operational matters, and the police will readily tell you that that is his area of strength. And then he's also very well qualified academically. I'm sure Majid will have a say on even his qualification. So whichever way you look at it, he's more than capable, more than qualified for the job that they have given him.
Majid, you want to tell us about his track record, Egbetokun, IGP?
What strikes me most is the fact that the new acting Inspector General of Police is a graduate of mathematics from University of Lagos. And yeah, so, and he has a master's in engineering sciences and business administration, and a PhD.
Complex.
Not the ones you say honoris causa. They say they will dash you doctorate. This one, he earned it at Al-Hikmah University.
Glory.
PhD in peace and security studies. So he comes well prepared, and from what Jude has said, from where he has moved around, I think he served as the
two masters.
Two masters degrees, one in mathematics, the other one in engineering
analysis.
Engineering analysis
From Unilag.
Yes.
Quite complex.
Very, very complex. So you
Faculty of Science.
So for him to say that it's like a lion and a tiger, he knows what he's talking about.
He's fired up.
And I think he served as the first commander of RRS in Lagos. I mean,
you can see Olatunji Disu.
Yes, we can see Disu,
yes,
our friend there. I mean, with him, this who actually took over from him
at RRS.
So, and you can see, there was a time in Lagos during his time as RRS commander. I mean, somebody just gave me the number. I didn't know him. I was not expecting him to pick. And I'm being factual here. I just called, and he said, where is the location? I mean, I gave him the location. Pronto, in less than 10 minutes, they were there at about 10 p.m. at night. So with that kind of, and I think in quick successions, I mean, you don't really have to know, especially those the guys in the RRS. And I think
I think there's a culture in the RRS.
There is a culture there.
Tradition of excellence.
Which he laid.
It was like that.
Yes, and this too was like that. And even the
president now.
The present RRS commander, Egbetokun. So, and one thing...
Egbetokun will sometimes call to say, Egbo, say there's no problem. Many times he will just call me, even about the security here.
Egbetokun, one day, around 9 p.m., I ordered a ride for a friend who came visiting from UK. And I put a clock, I was monitoring the ride. I won't say whether it's boat or Uber or whatever, but it was one of these car hailing businesses. The guy was supposed to be going to VI, and I traced the vehicle to Songwater. See, because I was monitoring. And this guy is, and now I had to call the driver. I said, stop where you are, or else I know where you are. And what are you doing in Songwater? So I put a call to him.
From Victoria Land?
No, I ordered from Ikeja.
And yes, as
they took off from Ikeja. It was meant to go to VI. They were approaching Songwater. So, and this was around 9:30 at night. So I called Egbetokun. This was around January, February this year. Pronto, before 10 minutes, the guy was apprehended. He was now begging. Can you imagine? So, and there is that culture which Egbetokun set up at the RRS, which is being maintained by, which has been maintained by Disu and now Egbetokun. Egbetokun. So, Egbetokun, I saw a picture which has been going viral as CSO to Governor Tinubu. I think sometimes 2003, Egbetokun was at the back there, very smallish.
Yes, I saw it.
And with... I
even saw Oniru.
The likes of, Oniru, Bolaon. The last VP, the VP, the former VP.
Professor Shibajo.
Dele Alake and Kemi Nelson of blessed memory. All of them.
Yes,
that's the picture.
Yes, that's Muiz Banire. Look at Raouf Aregbesola.
This picture is 20 years old. And you can see all of them. And all of these people, 90% of them are still with Ashwaju today, and they are holding one position or the other in this government. You can see Kemi Nelson of blessed memory very close. You can see Mr. Dele Alake, the super special advisor himself, the special advisor, special duties, communications and strategy. And also, you can see our professor,
all right.
VP Yemi of Oshibajo.
Okay, Jide, we're talking in terms of the main tax before him, because before now, Nigeria Police Force, they'll be relegated to orderlies following VIPs. Internal security, the original job, has been taken over by the military just because of capacity. So we have military operations in almost 36 states across the country. Internal security that is meant to be the prime responsibility of the Nigerian Police Force, is no longer, their area of strength.
You're right on the money. What I want to see is even some of these security agencies that we have formed being collapsed into the police. Honestly, civil defense.
They have all the departments.
The job of civil defense is actually a police job. The job of road safety is actually a police job. There was a time they tried to merge them. It caused problems. They left things like that. Police are undermanned. We have to tell ourselves the truth. In terms of civilian to police ratio, we are the worst in the world. We need far more policemen. A good number, when an IG comes, he says he's going to withdraw the policemen guiding VIPs, is a lie.
Story.
It's a lie.
Story.
After a while, you will see
roadblocks. Story.
Because they are still there. So let's have for many years, we did not even recruit into the police the way we should. Let there be more recruitment into the police, and it should be on a continuous basis.
Because we are under police.
Let's find the right people so that gap we can close that gap and ensure that the under-policing, that problem is reduced drastically. Then training and retraining of their officers. Even the state of the training institutes for the police.
Yeah, those schools.
Deplorable. You will not want to look at them. And if you cannot bring up a policeman in a proper atmosphere, by the time you unleash,
you will not think properly.
It's not just going to devour human beings. It's going to devour even decent people. So that's not what we want. Then the sanitization of the force. This IG has done its best to get bad eggs out of the force. Alkali, if you must give him credit, you have to give credit in the area of even infrastructure development, building some barracks for them and all that. Then sending packing all those policemen that used to misbehave, take people to ATM, you collect their money and all that. Yeah. Bad eggs.
It's not good
they
for
don't
the
belong in the
image
police.
Of the force.
He's sending them packing. This IG has to continue. If he doesn't continue, we will call him out. The kind of policemen who trigger the NSAS. Because people don't remember what actually started NSAS. Just killing people as if they are ram. No, we don't want a police that does that on a consistent basis. We want police that are responsible, they know their job, police that are incorruptible. We know that's a tall order, I'm deceiving myself. But at least we should have a good number.
Of sanity.
We should have a good number that is incorruptible. We should not have a situation when we talk about the police, everybody thinks of corruption. They are not the only profession where there is corruption.
Yeah.
But they like to expose the bad eggs within their ranks. And you must give them credit for that. So in terms of internal security, they have to take up greater responsibility. And I also want to see greater synergy. Because in many of the states now we have vigilante groups and all that. They need to work with them. Police will handle the issue of prosecution, but those guys will hand over people that they arrest.
Work with
and when they arrest and hand over to you, don't release those people for them to be roaming the streets again. That happens a lot. So there's a lot of work. What it needs to do, put the structures in place, let us see the deliverables. Ashiwaju must give deliverables to these people, including the
service chiefs.
Service chiefs. Without deliverables, you are wasting your time.
Definitely.
Because they won't achieve anything. People must know that, look, if you don't do this, you get fired.
Yes.
If you don't work hard, you get fired. There must be KPI. In the last administration, there was no KPI.
Everybody was just...
Yes. I said, the minister told me that the president did not like sacking people. That he would say, if I sack him now, he has a family now. He has a family. If I stay away from work now, in this place. So Andrew Anlong will be saying that Jide has a family.
Mediocrity at its worst.
I think in terms of discipline in the force, Alkali did very well. Very well. And I think Egbetokun should continue and even take it a step higher. And also, it should, in conjunction with the National Assembly and the of course, and the president. I mean, it takes the president to do that. We need state police. Even Chief Body...
That's not a task for him to do.
No, Chief Body Judge raised that issue yesterday. Of course, he can make that proposal. Raised that issue yesterday. It was suggested in the...
Policeman will not ask for state police.
Well...
Never.
But the thing is, it is quite evident...
Rivalry.
We are the people who can
ask us to... Or the executive can initiate a bill.
No, that issue cooperate when the matter is...
Okay.
Because we might need
that is better.
Because 400,000, less than 400,000 men and officers and men to 200 million people. It's way
disproportionate.
Even a VIP going around with 15 police.
Yeah. So, and there's no way you can stop these VIPs going about with...
even if I'm a Yahoo boy, if I have the watchers.
We need more men. We need to commit more money, more resources.
I think there will be synergy with the current PSC.
Yeah.
That's
Current
Police Service
Commission, you have to give them credit.
Yeah, they have been improving
a lot.
Yeah, they have been improving the rate of.
Yes, under the leadership of.
They can't afford the cat and mouse relationship that
no,
used to be there before.
The first thing he did, the new PSC man,
Solomon Arase,
just to go and meet with the IG. To show that, look, I was an IG like you. I don't want a fight. So you can see a lot of things that have been happening since Arase took over.
I don't know which course they are now, but Egbetokun is of course 16.
And
I
did
just
1990.
Yeah, 1990 is yes, it's course 16, and I think they're on course 40 something now. So we need more of such courses. I mean, which is the way they recruit them.
Cadets, cadet level.
Officers. We need more. I think the police just graduated about 10,000 batch.
Really?
Yeah, about 6 months ago.
10,000.
10,000.
They have to resolve the issue of who should.
That deficit.
They need.
Yes, who should recruit.
Yeah.
I think they have one. They have an existing case in court.
No,
that case should be withdrawn, settled amicably.
I think they have resolved that. I mean, they are now, the PSC is in conjunction with the police. I think they
can do it together. But if one wants to insist that, look, it's me, because I don't blame the police. If the police says, look, we are the ones who will train them, you can't have the final say on
the commission. Yeah,
kind of matter.
Commission should limit itself to training, promotion, and discipline, and allow the police
providing the structures for
it. Yeah.
And they should be motivated.
Of course.
Motivated.
That is
the salary,
because
remuneration.
In the last training, I have one or two of my cousins who took part in the last training. I was sending money to him to buy boots and to buy some.
They still buy those things for themselves.
Yes.
And,
that should stop.
I think one day
provision is made for that. I mean, it should stop.
Even the pension that they go home with. How can somebody who left as
even for them to register
like 90K to 100K
for them to register with the IPPS, they had to pay money.
Yes, I listened to a retired AIG say that, look, my distance is 90,000.
No.
Then later, somebody said that, Jide, you must have lied. He asked another person who retired as AIG, and that one said, no, they just increased it to 120.
From AIG, 90 to 120.
And also, when this...
You collect bribe.
When this,
you want to settle your future.
When these cadets graduate, those who graduated 6 months ago are yet to be paid. And I don't think it's tidy. I mean, you expose them to corruption. How do you expect them to survive?
New cadets.
I'm saying it authoritatively. Those who graduated 6 months ago, they are yet to receive a dime. That's why the fact that they even have to contribute some money before they could be registered into the IPPIS, into the Federal Government Payment System.
The police are saying they should even take them out of the pension scheme.
Okay. Yeah, I think they want to have their own.
They want to have their own. They have their bank.
So a lot of reforms coming under the police if we need to get better deals from them.
Okay, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll look at more appointments.
Home from work, in the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow! Just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandma.
What did you do this weekend? Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to see the gorillas in Rwanda. Then, I watched the cup final in London with the family. And on Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt dragons again. Yes. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, so Gamma.
With Airtel 5G's lightning fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout, and we're reaching you live from TVC News, our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. And I still have Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Majid Jami in the studio. Jide, let's look at other appointments. Let's look at the customs, the Controller General of Nigeria Customs.
Yeah, this new controller is much more grounded in administration than many of his predecessors, because he has been in the headquarters for so long. He's been in the Command and Staff College of the Customs in Gwagwalada for some time. Was once area controller at Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Within a short time, he seized $8 million that somebody was trying to launder. Yeah. That is something that comes to mind about him, because he was there for a short time, and they will recall that he made that seizure. But he also laid the foundation for the Customs PR department, because he's the best custom PRO that they've ever had, and he stayed long on that seat, more than anyone. And because of his training in Brussels, he is also very familiar with international best practices. He has a lot on his plate. The welfare of customs officers is a challenge at this time. And the reason is not so much assent had been given to the welfare of customs officers, and a lot of the customs men did not particularly like the era of Hamid Ali, because Hamid Ali
so it was an aberration.
Was militarized their operations. In terms of training, it focused more on the military type of training, and it goes beyond the military type of training. You have to train people, the intellect,
use
and everything.
IT equipment to really detect.
Now with the it's coming in at a time when the borders have been ordered to be reopened. It has a lot of challenge there in terms of manning the borders appropriately to ensure that contraband items are not brought into our country. And again, the issue of revenue, because Asiwaju focus will be firmly on revenue. Yeah. There's so much that he wants
custom
to
is like
and they will be breathing down his neck. He has to. What the custom officers tell me is, look, yes, Hamid Ali did well in the area of revenue generation, but a customs officer with sufficient training would have done much better. That's what they are saying, you know.
They felt somehow that they brought somebody from outside.
Yes, they didn't like it. That's why I'm talking about morale. Morale is down. Somebody has to come in now and galvanize the
from the rank
officers and men, you know. And he has all that it takes because of his experience in administration, having been in the headquarters for so long. So I see in him someone that can be trusted. I mean, if you stop someone from laundering $8 million through the airport, you didn't take a bribe, you are the sort of person that we need. So I'm confident that he will deliver the goods.
Mujil, why Wale Adeniyi? or Adeniyi Adewale?
Yeah, Adewale Bashir Adeniyi. He didn't just get to that position by chance or by happenstance. Recall that even Buhari, under Buhari, he was one of the recipients of the National Award of the Member of the Order of the Federal Republic.
MON?
No, MFR.
MFR.
So, and that's higher than even MON. I think MON is the smallest, is the lowest. So, and he's a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. He graduated from OAU Ife with a School of International Relations, and he did a master's in communication science from one jaw-breaking university in Switzerland. So the academic record is super for him. And one thing this, like Jide said, one thing this will do for the service is the fact that the morale will be boosted now, especially knowing fully well that in the last 8 years, there was no hope of anybody from the service to rise to that peak of their career. There was no hope, especially because of Ahmed Ali. And that's the first time somebody from, and you recall that the appointment of Ahmed Ali, generated a lot of
controversy in the National Assembly.
Even in the National Assembly, they refused to wear the uniform. It's like...
I was even emotional moved by my man from Kogi.
Okay.
You said, we must order the Controller General of Customs.
Which of your men?
To come here in his uniform. You know, you call it the Controller General of Customs. The S was silent. That to come here with his uniform.
So I don't think he ever wore the uniform, but
No, he didn't have to wear it.
But coming back to Adewale Bashir, he needs to be aware of the fact that this is a huge task. For his predecessor, he was able to increase and improve on the revenue generation.
That's a strategy.
Give that to him.
They're giving him target to meet.
Yeah, but for Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, he knows that he must surpass that target because now he has more motivated staff to work with who knows that one day they can also rise to that level. The space is there now that after him, I think he's been in the service for about 30 years. He has a couple of...
This is the first time in 48 years or so that the Southwest...
is having...
Just
like in the immigrations too. I think it's the second time a lady, after Rose, will be the acting Comptroller General.
Since independence, this is the second time that a Yoruba man will become the Chief of Army Staff.
Wow.
And the last Yoruba man to become Chief of Army Staff before this was
General Alani Akinade.
Alani Akinade.
1980.
Wow. Wow. That's 43 years ago.
3 years ago.
80.
So many of these are
dominant tribe.
Many of these are agencies. You see, a lot is happening. We are not trying to play any ethnic cards there, but you can see the balance.
We are talking about national inclusion.
Yes, we are talking. We can see the balance even in the appointments of the service chiefs. Some people thought
Northwest too.
Some people thought Ogala is our own Babatunde is related to our Babatunde Ogala son, but it's, and
they didn't do investigation. They just started.
I saw people saying, "Hey, you see, there is the southeast. Is the southeast no more part of Nigeria?" And people now said, "Haba, Ogala is double L from Enugu. Bikono.
Igbo is it?
So I think there's some balance. But in achieving a balance, I think getting results is also very key for those who have been given this mantle of leadership in the various organizations, especially in the customs. We need to plug so many holes and bring in more revenue.
Jude, finally, on this custom matter, Amir Ali made the case for them. He said people handling billions, that most of his officers, they don't pay them well. That if you are processing billions in terms of...
He confronted
IGR for the country.
He confronted Adeosun at that time, that look, and they see billions passing through their table every day. And you are paying them what amounted to peanuts.
Peanuts.
What Adeosun was saying was, let them meet their target first, you know, because you know it's the finance ministry that supervises the custom. So Adeosun said you must first meet your target before you ask for anything. I think the issue of salary and all that, revenue, mobilization, fiscal commission should be able to look at this whole thing. Even judges, if you know the salaries of judges, you will not be surprised that we have judges who are corrupt, because the salary is an incentive for
corruption.
Just to be corrupt. So we've got to look at all that, especially at this time when...
I think we should call on Zach, the special advisor on revenue. That I think Zach Adedeji.
Okay.
So
let's
do something on
we'll get there now.
Yeah.
Now, in continuation of his desire to put round pegs in round holes for his administration to be on fast lane to recovery, President Bola Tinubu approved the appointment of 2 additional special advisors and 2 senior special assistants. They are Adiza Bala Usman, special advisor on policy coordination, Hanatu Musa Musawa, special advisor on culture and entertainment economy. That's Senator Abdullahi Abubakar Gumel, senior special assistant on National Assembly matters, that's Senate, and Olariwaju Kunle Ibrahim, senior special assistant on National Assembly matters, House of Representatives. Let's start from Adiza Bala Usman. Mujit.
Yeah, no, Adiza Bala Usman recall our role as the MD of Nigerian
Port Authority. I thought you were going to take it from when she started at BP.
No. Okay. So she's always been there. I know she wrote that book about how she was removed and how painful it was to her. She did very well in the MPA, and unceremoniously. She was...
Her appointment was confirmed for the second time.
Yeah.
But she was suspended months after.
The
confirmation.
Appointment, Rotimi Amechi complained that he did not recommend her for a second term.
But the president did it.
And you know, the way that government, the way they run that government.
Very clumsy.
Some people can go, you know, that was his complaint, that look, I didn't, and I ought to be the person.
As Minister of Transport.
Yes.
Well, you can recommend to the president, and the president can do otherwise.
So it was bypassed.
Yeah, it was bypassed. That was his complaint.
So, okay.
And the president felt, well, let me do what he wanted, you know, because that. Let's not even go into that.
No, I think now that she's back,
it belongs in the past.
Yeah, now that she's back, she has written a book on that. Those who want to find out what actually happened should go and read that book. But now that she's back, she must prove that what she did at NPA then was not just a mere fluke. Policy implementation, good policies that will impact positively on Nigerians, in the terms of and economy. I see her working hand in hand with Mr. Wale Edun, who is, of course, the coordinator, the special advisor on economy. They should come up with policies that can improve revenue generation and also impact on the masses on the streets. Those are the kind of things that Nigerians need. Especially how we address the issue of the cushioning effects of the removal of the subsidy. Because up until now, it's only those in Cameroon Niger Republic and Sudan that are crying.
That be benefiting.
They are, they are the ones using alabukun for our headache. Why we are taking it in strands.
I'm even surprised the way the Nigerians are taking it.
Honestly.
It shows that there's God's hand in what is going on.
Because
this is the highest
increase
ever. More than about 300%.
7 naira
just
to
yes.
130.
I think for many people, the earliest steps that Ashwaju has taken is proof that the future will be better if the people support his administration, if he maintains the momentum, and if the policies are properly implemented. So I think a lot of people believe that, look, where we found ourselves is not his problem. It's not his making.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need to do what he's doing. These steps will be painful, but they are necessary.
Certainly.
People like, look at, I was telling someone, I said, Muhammadu Sanusi, the emir of Kano, the other day was saying that it was a mistake to not elect Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. But the same man went to Aso Rock, to congratulate Asiwaju and then encourage him to continue the economic reform that
Mr. President called him Mr. Monetary Policy.
Yes.
That's
so because I was sure, I said, when he said this, it wasn't a long time ago. The truth is, many people, including Muhammadu Sanusi, never believed for once that Asiwaju was capable of taking those steps that he has taken.
Yeah.
Because these are bold steps.
Yeah.
A leader has to be ready to take bold, painful decisions. Yeah. Once you are convinced that in the final analysis, it will be the best for us as a nation. So the same man who went to an event and said, oh, not electing Osinbajo was a mistake.
Yeah.
That means he was telling the person who was elected that you are not good enough.
Yeah, it was a wrong
that
choice.
It shouldn't have been you.
Yeah.
That they didn't know what they were doing when they elected you. But it has taken just a few steps, a few decisions for him to go to the same person to say, I'm visiting you to encourage you to go ahead with the
two takeaways from what has happened in the last few days of Asiwaju's presidency. Reuters did a story and they called him Baba Go Fast. Put it in parentheses.
I saw it.
Reuters. In fact, they said it's like
the opposite of Baba Go.
Yes, it's like this man it's like he's too fast for Nigerians. So.
Because those were things that they used to tell us to do.
And now why Nigerians didn't react because of the increase, because of the removal of fuel subsidy. Now they can see that from 69 million liters a day, we are down to less than 30 million liters. And there are no queues. So which means we have cut off more than half of the fuel that it said, we are going to Sudan, Cameroon, Togo, Benin Republic.
Sudan,
and they are the ones
going to people's pockets.
And the money.
At times,
so how many tankers were we seeing going across?
No, you know what?
That's what the customs DG said, CG says. What are we talking about? That which road were they passing? Because the quantum of fuel that you want us to believe was being smuggled. You know the way.
Where are we going to store it?
Okay. Niger Republic, all the cars that they have in Niger Republic.
It's not up to what we have in
Abeokuta. We have in just 2 states in
one
Nigeria.
Local government in Lagos. Okay, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Still, journalists Hangout.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. Change your world. JRB Solar Inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Thank you for staying with us. Jide Anatu Musawa, Special Advisor on Culture and Entertainment, Entertainment Economy. President Bola Tinubu promised the youths.
Anatu played a very big part in the campaign. In fact, what I see happening is that, Diko Rada, the governor of Katsina, will be saying, Shiwaju has stolen my thunder. Because Diko Rada will want to work with someone like Anatu. Brilliant, fantastic writer, full of ideas. And very, very energetic. During the campaigns, we saw the role that all of these women played. And if you are a consistent reader of Daily Trust, I know that you've seen her column. She ran a consistent column for years. And her ideas are very good. So Asiwaju needs people like this, in the administration. And he promised that he will give jobs to youths and women. So we are happy.
This will target the entertainment economy.
Yes.
This will target the youths.
Now, yes, because look, she did that poem about Asiwaju. She's a creative person. So what I want to see is a ministry for culture and tourism. Let it stand alone. Remove it from under information.
Okay.
Because look at the potential of tourism.
Yeah.
We can actually make Dubai, they have oil, but they focus more on tourism. We can make a lot more money from tourism than we are making. And someone like Asiwaju with his ideas, should know that the ministry for tourism and culture should stand alone. Remove it from the encumbrances of information. What is it doing
State alone? In terms of tourism, I remember Wale Ojolari, when he was in charge of tourism, he was able to bring out so many things about Ekiti State on his Facebook page.
Larry said he went to, Malaysia, one of these countries, and he was weeping. I said, Nigeria, look at what we've done with Mambila. See how we're wasting Mambila. Go to that most beautiful place in Nigeria. Wasting away.
Or even
Obudu. Yes. No, it's similar. The landscape is very similar. If you've been to Obudu, it's just similar to Mambila, except that Mambila is colder. So we need to let that ministry stand alone. People like Anatu Musawa, because I want to believe that these are transitional ministers. They are still going to move from this stage to maybe another stage, just like Nuhu moved from
national security,
security to NSA. So it has to, there will be people that they can use. People who have headed the culture, people like our friend, what's his name? The Jebu man, Ronsewe. Yes, very knowledgeable on culture and tourism matter. So let tourism, let us show that we want to make money. A lot of our young people, entertainment, I know that they will be targeting even not just Nollywood, but even the music industry, the videos of this world,
The next set of special assistants, I think their work is going to be, their work is going to be
National
easy.
Assembly.
There's going to be work is going to be easy.
Yes.
When you have
the former National
Assembly members, when you have Bola Tinubu himself, a lawmaker, when you have the Vice President, a lawmaker, when you have the First Lady, a lawmaker,
a lawmaker.
Senators, House of Reps.
Yes.
As a matter of fact,
people like Faleke are still there.
Yes. So the synergy between the 10th Assembly and this administration.
No, they will have little work to do as liaison officers.
Yes.
Because that's their role as liaison officers.
They know what.
The appointment of the SSA on National Assembly matters, House of Reps, Ibrahim Kunle, we call him IBO, Olanewaju. He just left the National Assembly from Ekiti State, and he's a very close ally of Femi Gbajabiamila, the Chief of Staff. I could see oftentimes they went on Humrah and Holy Pilgrimage together. You see them in Aram and things like that. So they have been very close. So And just like we have noted here, I see a very cordial working relationship between the executive and this 10th assembly, especially given the fact that Tajuddin Abbas, who is from the reps, and even Akpabio, and of course, owes their emergence to the support they received from the party. So they will want to give back. Of course, we are not saying they should be rubber stamps. They shouldn't be rubber stamps. They should
for both houses.
But I see.
We should not omit. For the first time, Mr. President touched on the Brigade of Guards.
There is no time. I'm looking at we have less than 3 minutes. There is a lot that we have
that
to
one, honestly, on that.
There is no time. People will do it tomorrow.
All right.
There's no time.
Okay. Moji Jamiu, I will thank you. And Jide, thank you for your contribution. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcasts of this episode tonight by 11. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun.
Is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Are you worried about the safety and security of your home at night? Do you wish to know when intruders come close to your home? Or do you want to protect what matters to your family from anywhere at any time? What if there was a convenient, affordable way to keep surveillance in your home without having to worry about wires, installations, or heavy light bills? Introducing the incredible Sidebulb HD Cam, the robotic 360-degree two-way torque camera with action tracking technology. Sidebulb is the ultimate solution for discreet and powerful surveillance. It's so easy to install, and the app lets you rotate and view the video from your Sidebulb in real time from any smartphone. You can drop in from anywhere and check in with our two-way talk technology. Talk and listen at the same time.
Hello, Mommy.
Hey, sweetie. I'll be home soon, okay?
Sidebulb's advanced tracking technology locks onto motion and tracks in real time. Set the siren alarm to go up when motion is detected and keep intruders away. Check in on your home while you're away. Make sure the kids got home safely. Interact with visitors at your doorway or surprise a trespasser.
Surveillance in a light bulb. I was amazed at the 360-degree rotation. It gives me a full view of my house and I can check in on my kids. The footage is clear and the night vision is so impressive. The best part, I can add multiple sidebulbs for a complete home surveillance.
I really like my Sidebulb. It's so easy to use. I just downloaded the app, I put it on my phone, and I add it up and run in about 3 minutes.
Traditional surveillance systems are bulky, expensive, and difficult to install. But with Sidebulb HD Cam's innovative design, installation is as fast as changing a light bulb, and it's made for indoor and outdoor surveillance.
The Sidebulb HD Cam is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 200,000 naira for an indoor and outdoor security system that doesn't fully secure your home. But call the number on your screen now and get the Sidebulb HD Cam for just 45,000 naira and get peace of mind. And that's not all. If you call now, we'll give you an extra Sidebulb at no extra cost. That means you buy one and get one free for 45,000 naira. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sidebulb HD Cam delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
In the month of June, the 4th of June 2023, makes it 27 years since the wife of the late MKO Abiola, Kudirat Abiola, was murdered. 5th of June is World Environment Day. On the 7th of June, the global community celebrates World Food Safety Day, while June 12 is Democracy Day in Nigeria. Also, June 12 is World Day Against Child Labor. 13th of June is a day set aside for International Albinism Awareness, while 14th of June is World Blood Donor Day. The 19th of June is set aside as International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. It's also set aside as World Sickle Cell Day. 26th of June is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. 30th of June is International Day of Parliamentarism. Brace yourself for the month of June and stay tuned to TVC News for special reports and analysis.
Maya Angelou was a civil rights activist, poet, and award-winning author known for her acclaimed 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her numerous poetry and essay collections. Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood. Her parents split up when she was very young. Around the 1960s, Angelou lived in Ghana working as an editor and a freelance writer. Angelou also held a position at the University of Ghana for a time before she joined a community of revolutionist returnees exploring Pan-Africanism and became close with human rights activist and black nationalist leader Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. In 1961, Angelou appeared in an off-Broadway production of Jean Genet's The Blacks with James L. Jones, Lou Gossett Jr. and Cicely Tyson, and went on to earn a Tony Award nomination for her role in the play Look Away, 1973, and an Emmy Award nomination for her work on the television miniseries Roots, 1977, among other honors. Angelou's career has seen numerous accolades, including the Chicago International Film Festival's 1998 Audience Choice Award and a nod from the Acapulco Black Film Festival in 1999 for Down in the Delta. She published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, more than 50 honorary degrees, and television shows spanning over 50 years. She also won 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work Non-Fiction category for her 2005 cookbook and 2008 Letter to My Daughter. After experiencing health issues for a number of years, Angelou died on May 28, 2014 at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. In May 2021, it was announced that Angelou will be one of the first women to be commemorated with a new series of quarters from the U.S. Mint.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat. It's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos State government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I am sure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and governments to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, that's how you misinform the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
Well, it's day 23 of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency, and we are keeping tabs with updates in his first 100 days in office. Thank you for joining us on the program. I am Nifemi Ogunto. You can join the conversation now on Twitter if you use the hashtag first 100 days. Remember to tag at TVC News NJ. Let's bring you updates on the first official visit of President Tinubu to France. The president has received briefs from Ambassador Laro, Permanent Secretary Adamu Lamuwa, and other officials from the Nigerian embassy. They presented Nigeria's position on the summit and the scheduled sideline meetings with leaders and multilateral institutions. Recall that President Tinubu departed Abuja for Paris for the Paris summit for the new Global Financial Pact on Tuesday. He's expected to also participate, review, and sign a new global financial pact that places vulnerable countries on priority list for support as well as investment. The summit will hold from June the 22nd, I believe that's tomorrow, to 23rd, and President Tinubu is expected to return to Abuja on Saturday, 24th June. After this summit, we'll be talking to our State House correspondent shortly for more updates as regards the president's visit to France. But tackling security is one of the core objectives of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in achieving a desired result of a safe country. And that's exactly what he said during his inaugural speech on May 29.
Security shall be top priority of our administration, because neither prosperity nor justice can prevail amid insecurity and violence. To effectively tackle this, we shall reform both our security doctrine and its architecture.
We're looking at collaboration between the presidency and state governors shortly on the program, and we'll be talking to the Plateau State Governor in a minute. But let's return to our State House correspondent who is standing by for more updates on Mr. President's visit to Paris. Femi, President Tinubu, we understand, will be attending some sideline events in Paris with leaders and multilateral institutions. What more have you gathered about his first official trip?
Well, Nifemi, all of that schedule is being drawn up by the president's men, that is his special advisors, members of his advisory council, working in close collaboration with the staff of the Nigerian embassy in France. We understand from Mr. Dele Alake, who is the special advisor on strategy, communications, and special duties. He is saying that leaders of world leaders of developed countries are already showing interest in meeting with President Bola Tinubu, in strengthening ties with Nigeria, in engaging with President Bola Tinubu and indeed Nigeria to see how they can come into Nigeria, bring in investment into Nigeria, because from what they are seeing, from the feelers they are getting following President Tinubu's latest economic policies, they are seeing that indeed Nigeria is open for business and that their return on investment is guaranteed. So these meetings, we expect them to start happening. That new global pact global financing pact will start tomorrow. The conference will start tomorrow. The international community will be led by the United Nations Secretary General. We expect leaders from the South, the global South, meeting with leaders from less developed and underdeveloped countries. All of these engagements will be to improve the global financing system, which they say, as it stands currently, is not fit for purpose. currently we have this global financing system of about $300 trillion assets. And what world leaders are saying is that this is not fit for purpose because it makes disadvantaged countries more vulnerable. The poor and smaller countries are more vulnerable with what is currently obtainable. So they are looking at rejigging all of these and improving the whole system. And President Tinubu is also making his own plans to ensure that Nigeria has a stake in all of this. Nifemi.
Absolutely. The presidential villa is still receiving visitors even in the absence of Mr. President. We understand that the British High Commissioner today visited Vice President Kashim Shettima. What was the essence of that meeting and what did you glean from it?
Yes, you know, Nigeria and Britain, they have enjoyed a long-standing relationship, diplomatic ties that dates back to when Nigeria got its independence, even the pre-colonial era. So it's not unusual to see the British High Commissioner come to Nigeria to visit the presidency, visit President Kashim Shettima in the absence of President Bola Tinubu, to talk about strengthening these long-standing ties, to talk about moving forward, how the partnership can be improved. You know, the feedback that came from the British High Commissioner is was quite refreshing for Vice President Kashim Shettima and indeed the federal government. He's saying that with the audacious economic policies introduced by President Bola Tinubu, the withdrawal of fuel subsidy payments, and also the monetary policy, the reform of the country's exchange rate and the monetary policy are indeed sending the right signals to the international community. He says he has been interacting with British businesses and investors who are telling him that with all of this is showing that, well, the Nigerian economic space is gradually opening up, and they are also showing that interest in coming into Nigeria. So it's just very good for Nigeria's foreign direct investment as the federal government seeks to increase the investment portfolio in the country. Nifemi.
Day 23 of President Tinubu's presidency. Trust me, Nigerians are counting on all of the campaign promises and looking forward to the changes it will bring to the table. State House correspondent Femi Akonde live for us. But by the way, happy birthday, Femi. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you, Nifemi. Good to see you too.
Well, we'll return after this break. We'll turn our attention to national security under President Tinubu's administration. Stay with us.
I, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear
So 2 days ago, President Tinubu fired service chiefs, appointed new ones with a charge to hit the ground running. On the show today, we're asking what the tasks are before the service chiefs with the recent killings in Mango in Plateau State and the urgent need to bring back peace to the nook and crannies of the country. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang met with President Tinubu recently on some issues. The big question is the Plateau State government seeking intervention from the federal government to tackle some security challenges in that part of the country? Let's find out more. Caleb Mutfwang is the executive governor of Plateau State and he joins me live from Jos. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Nifemi. Good evening, Nigerians.
Well, the last time we spoke, you were governor-elect, so let me say congratulations on your inauguration as executive governor of Plateau State. We understand that celebration is short-lived now, seeing the huge security challenges you have to deal with yourself. In one of the meetings you held with stakeholders earlier this month, you were quoted to have said, "We must tell ourselves enough is enough. This madness and killings must come to an end." And you were referring to attacks in Mango. You were once a chairman of that particular local government. Why do you think the attacks in that area have persisted even with the 24-hour curfew in the place?
Well, thank you, Nifemi. Let's put things in proper context. It is true that Bangu local government in particular has come under a deluge of attacks in the last 1 month, 2-3 weeks preceding my inauguration, and it has continued unabated till this moment. But I must separate that from an incident that happened 3-4 days ago that necessitated the imposition of the curfew. That had nothing to do with the insurgency we're having. It was more of an internal clash, a misunderstanding among persons within the community in Mangu. And I want to say that the situation inside Mangu town has been brought under very considerable control, and vehicles are moving on the main highway without any constraint. But of course, the main issue of the insecurity, which has to do with insurgency, is continuing unabated. Even last night, I can tell you that we lost another 14 people around that axis. Even as I'm talking to you, I've had to be dealing with security agencies and giving instructions on how to create new buffer zones. Why has this continued unabated? I think there has been a deliberate conspiracy to bring down Plateau State. And let me say this is not restricted to just Mangu or Bokos, Riom, Barkiladi. Even in recent times, places like Wase and Kanam have come under vicious attacks by insurgents. One of the two things are quite attractive on the plateau. The land itself, it's one of the most fertile pieces of land in Nigeria. It's one of the most arable farmlands in Nigeria. And of course, the mineral deposits that are in Plateau State. And people are beginning to realize that if you possess the land, you possess the minerals. And so Plateau has come into serious contention for some of these reasons. So we can look at economic factors, we can look at political factors, we can look at social factors that are behind the continuation of this insurgency. But what I can assure you is that we're doing our best to tackle these issues.
You know, the last time we spoke on this platform, you mentioned to me that security for you isn't much about the presence of military, but the absence of conflict. So I'm wondering how you intend to deal with the criminality element of this crisis while you're attempting to resolve the communal conflicts.
Thank you, Nifemi. We're doing a multi-pronged approach to this issue. Certainly, while we are identifying the people that we need to dialogue with, and we are stepping up the process of engagement with the leaders that we believe are influential and can bring this scourge to an end, we have to deal with the criminality. The criminality has to do with communities being invaded by people we do not know where they come from. The other day, we had a group of about 100 motorcycles crossing into a community on the main highway, each of them carrying not less than 3 passengers on the motorbike, and each of them, of course, fully armed. Where are they coming from? Where are they going to? Who called them? Who sent them? These are the things we're asking the security agencies to help us unravel.
Well, we spoke with a community leader on the news a few days ago, and he alleged the complicity of the military, particularly in Barkin Ladi. According to him, these communities are now requesting for only the service of the police. I'm wondering if that is something that you're worried about, and what are you doing about it?
Yes, I've received such complaints, but we do not treat them lightly. We also engage the top brass of the military to try to investigate if there are possible infractions by their men who probably do some things out of their manual of operation. We're engaging the military in that regard, and so far I want to say kudos to the military command, because one of the incidents we had some 2 weeks back, when a soldier was alleged to have shot a civilian, we took it up with the military authorities and they promptly acted. And I can assure you that investigation is ongoing and they are dealing with the matter. Now, sometimes, again, the rules of engagement do not allow the military to open fire, even when they are seeing the insurgents. And so people who are victims of this insurgency feel the military is not doing what it should, but they can only act within their rules of engagement. So sometimes it leads to frustration, it leads to allegations, and so on and so forth. But what I can assure our people is that where there are genuine complaints, we will ensure that those kind of officers are brought to book, where, of course, we must also promote cordial relationship between the military and the civilian population, because we have to be on the same page to be able to win this battle.
You met with the president recently, and you mentioned to reporters that it was a private meeting that you're not willing to talk about. You may have changed your mind, but are you hoping to, work with the federal government? Is there anything you're looking forward to in the presidential villa as regards the challenges in Plateau?
Oh, sure, Nifemi. Plateau State cannot be an island. We have to work in collaboration with the federal government. Given our security framework, our security architecture, as you know, all the security assets are in the hands of the federal government. Much of what we do at the state level is the management of those assets. And therefore, we cannot but collaborate with the federal government. Yes, I met with Mr. President, and I must say that Mr. President was welcoming, was reassuring, and of course, he is quite abreast with the security challenge on the plateau. And I extracted from him a commitment to ensure that the situation on the plateau is brought under control.
Let's talk about the removal of fuel subsidy. You're a member of the National Economic Council. Nigerians are counting on your decision to intervene. That's what the president has tasked the NEC to do this time. What are you doing to help people in Plateau, to survive these days, the days where, they now have to pay almost 3 times what they used to for a liter of petrol?
Yeah, definitely this is a tough one. But let me say that the NEC did set up a committee to be able to work out some of the details of these palliatives so that we can, as soon as the subsidy, the value of the subsidy begins to flow into the states, we will not misuse those values. And I'm sure the committee is working assiduously. It was given a space of 2 weeks, I believe, to deliver its report. A committee headed by the governor of Kebbi State, whom you know is an immediate past national chairman of the NUT. So what I can tell you is that this committee is going to come up with a range of subsidies, a range of, not subsidies, palliatives, I should put it, that would be worker-friendly, would be poor-friendly, and will be people-friendly. For us on the plateau, we came in and the first challenge we're having to deal with is that we made workers on strike because of the non-payment of salaries from February up till May. And I'm glad to report that we have finished paying February salary. We are trusting God that in another week or 2, we should be able to look at how to pay the March salary and possibly go on to pay April within the constraints of our finances. But beyond that, the inflows that are expected to come as a result of the removal of the fuel subsidy probably may not be realized until sometime in August.
Governor Mutfwang, let me jump in very quickly because of our time. You talked about salaries. The TUC is asking for as much as 200,000 naira. Are you?
Hello, Nifemi?
Yes, can you hear me, Governor Mutfwang?
Hello.
Can you hear me? I was saying.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, good. I was saying that the TUC has asked for as much as 200,000 naira as a minimum wage. Are you ready? Are you willing to increase the minimum wage in the coming days?
I believe, Nifemi, that workers are entitled to what we call a living wage. And within the constraints of our financial challenges, I believe that we should be able to review upwards the salaries of workers. But again, this is why we are a federation. We cannot have one uniform salary scale for everybody across the nation because our capacities are different. Some of the states have even gone ahead to even increase salaries. Some of us were struggling to pay arrears of salaries. So we have to find our level. We have to find our context. But for me, as a governor of Plateau State, I've made a commitment to the workers of the Plateau that their welfare is of utmost importance to us. And within the constraints of our resources, we will try to ensure that we make life better for them as we get along.
You sound like you are shying away from that question. Making life better for them. Does that mean they should be expecting an increment?
Oh, sure. I said it, that the issue of increase, I believe that workers deserve a living wage. And definitely the wages at the moment, if you ask me very honestly, I will tell you that they are below what workers should be earning. But again, it's a function of availability. And I said within the constraints of what is available, we'll ensure that we make life better for the workers.
So some 6 days ago, the IG ordered that the police commissioner in Plateau seal up the 17 local government area secretariats. And they're saying it's as a result of skirmishes arising from the suspension of local government chairmen. How are you dealing with that development?
Yeah, thank you, Nifemi, for this question. Let me say that the IG was certainly misinformed about the realities on ground. And incidentally, I also visited the IG a few hours before he was relieved of his appointment. And to put things in proper perspective, as I'm talking to you, I can assure you there is no restiveness in anywhere, in any of the local government secretariats. But this is a slight misunderstanding we're working on, and I'm pretty sure that normalcy will return before too long.
All right, we have to go now. We must say a big thank you for honoring your promise. You promised to answer anytime we call. Hopefully, you'll keep to that promise in the coming days, and as we also monitor developments in your 4-year tenure. Governor Caleb Mutfwang, Executive Governor of Plateau State.
Thank you, Nifemi.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Nifemi. Thank you for bringing me on. And I can assure you that we on the Plateau have a lot of respect for TVC and will continue to cultivate the most cordial and right relationship with you guys. Thank you for bringing us on.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. That's our program today. You can watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi. We're going to it. Bye for now.
Stubborn dark marks? Try new Nivea Lumina 630. Visibly reduces up to 10 years of stubborn dark marks in just 4 weeks. New Nivea Lumina 630. Get even and luminous skin.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone. Your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow, the patented, ergonomically designed tapered leg pillow that naturally fits the contours of your legs, knees and thighs to help align your spine and alleviate pain. Watch, when you sleep on your side, your leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and lower back, putting pressure on your spine. hip, and sciatic. But the Contour Legacy Pillow cushions your knees and cradles your legs, relieving stress on joints while restoring your lower back alignment. Sleeping on your side, your leg comes over and puts you out of alignment, causing lower back pain, hip pain, even knee pain. By using the Contour Legacy Pillow, it restores the natural alignment of the spine, helping to alleviate pain and pressure, leading to much more restful sleep. Old-fashioned leg pillows are bulky, but the anatomical design of the Legacy Pillow fits perfectly the shape of your body the way nature intended. You can even use two together for full leg alignment. Legacy Pillow is exclusively ventilated, so it always stays cool and dry. With top crescent design, it cuddles up to you perfectly and easily moves with you. Ordinary pillows go flat, but the Legacy Pillow is made up of soft memory foam, so it never loses its shape and the cover is machine washable. The Contour Legacy Pillow is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 500,000 naira for an orthopedic bed that doesn't properly support your spine. But call the number on your screen now and get 2 Legacy leg pillows for just 69,900 naira. And get relief from back and hip issues. But wait! If you call now, we'll upgrade you to the Contour Better Sleep Collection. The collection comes with 2 Contour Legacy leg pillows and 2 Contour Cool Gel head pillows at no extra charge. The Contour Cool Gel head pillows' soothing orthopedic support will cradle your head and neck for full alignment, while keeping you cool all through the night for the best sleep of your life. Incredible! That's 2 Contour Legacy pillows and 2 Cool Gel head pillows for just 69,900 naira. And that's not all. Place your order now and we'll also deliver your Contour Better Sleep collection with no shipping charge. But hurry! This is an exclusive ShopX TV offer and only available for a limited period. So, call now while stock lasts. Your rest is your wealth.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time do you see
news? First, with breaking news.
Join me, Precious Amayo, as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
It was a day to jubilate in the ancient community of Egbetokun in Ife North local government area of Osun State, as the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, OSAP SDGs, unveiled an 80-bed mother and child hospital for the use of the people recently. The state-of-the-art hospital project is part of the bid of the office to help bridge the gap in access to quality health care, particularly in rural and undeserved areas of the country, and is one of the many healthcare facilities provided by OSAP SDGs across the country. It was commissioned at a ceremony attended by top officials of federal government, Osun state government, traditional rulers, and other stakeholders. Speaking during the commissioning, the head of Sustainable Projects Unit in office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Mr. Samuel Egbra, who stated that the 80-bed multi-purpose state-of-the-art facility encapsulated the essence of SDG 3, good health and well-being, as it will help to bridge the gap in access to quality healthcare, particularly for those in rural and undeserved areas of Osun State.
The SDGs serve as a global blueprint for a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the most pressing challenges facing humanity, from poverty eradication to quality education, gender equality to climate action, and good health and well-being to sustainable cities and communities. Today, as we gather here to celebrate the official commissioning of this 80-bed multipurpose hospital, we witness firsthand how it aligns with and contributes to the realization of these ambitious global goals. Ladies and gentlemen, this 80-bed multipurpose hospital represents a transformative initiative that plays a pivotal role in improving the lives of mothers and children in Osun State and by extension Nigeria. It stands as a shining example of progress and a beacon of hope for a better future. As a state of
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
The Guinness World Records, known from its inception in 1955 until 1999 as the Guinness Book of Records, is a British reference book published annually, listing world records both of human achievements and extremes of the natural world. The popularity of the franchise has resulted in Guinness World Records becoming the primary international source for cataloging and verification of a huge number of world records. Over the years, lots of Nigerians have made it to the Guinness Book of World Records, including the late Fela Kuti, who holds a Guinness World Record for the most studio album recordings released. He achieved this when he recorded 46 albums as a solo artist that lasted for 23 years. Ayo Balogun, popularly known as Wizkid, has a Guinness World Record for being the artist with the first track to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify. Bose Omolayo, an athlete who achieved the Guinness World Record in 2021 when she did the heaviest power lift by a female in the -79 kg category at 144 kilograms. In 2023, Rema became the first artist to top the Middle Eastern and North African charts. With this feat, Rema sets a new Guinness Book of Records. In 2006, Kefi, alongside her team Imagnito, made their mark in the Guinness World Record by participating in the Nokia Silverbird Dance-a-thon and setting a new record for the longest dance party. They impressively danced for an astounding duration of 55 hours and 40 minutes, solidifying their place in the record books. And recently, Hilda Bassi attempted and broke the record for the longest cooking marathon by an individual. Nigerians from all walks of life took to the social media to document this feat, as she prepared several dishes over 4 days on foot, only resting for 1 hour after accumulating 12 hours of activity. The experience came with a rush of mixed emotions, not just for Hilda, but for many who trooped out to watch her break the record. Many wondered if she could achieve breaking the previous record of 87 hours and 45 minutes. But as time went on, With each passing day, Hilda was getting close to her desired destination despite the obvious fatigue and stress this brought. After the whole experience, Hilda Bassi spoke exclusively to TVC News as she gave us an insight into her 5-year journey and what she went through inside the cooking booth.
Now, during the main event, I was up at 5, could barely sleep in the night because I was anxious. Now, I got to the venue at about 7:30 and everything wasn't ready and set. We had some issues with the CCTV footage that cameras we got. It wasn't picking up sound. You know, just trying to make sure that evidence was properly documented. At some points, the cubicle was shocking because there were a lot of wires, so they now had to rewire it to check where, you know, the shock was coming from. So we had a lot of issues. So, and there was a lot of press. So I got in, I did my press interviews. I was upstairs, downstairs, checking to make sure everything was fine. And because I'm anxious, I just can't wait to start. So I had already been up for 12 hours, not resting, and then I started at 4.
It's worthy to note that TVC News got interested in this story and gave it the maximum coverage required. Such activity is not easy for many who stay on their feet cooking for hours any day. So, one can understand the pressure and pain this chef went through, even overcoming a rush from her menstrual circle, owing to the stress her body went through.
It was just how willing everybody was. Everyone was so willing. It was like everybody was so willing. So at a point, I realized that I wasn't doing this for just myself. I never thought I was doing it for just myself, but at a point, it was not about me anymore. It was about every single person that was there. Because it was like, I looked at them and I'm like, these people see something in you that you like, for them to see this in you, there's something here.
In attaining any endeavor, a solid support system is important, and this, for Hilda, came in the form of her family, friends, and Nigerians who overwhelmingly supported her and gave her the needed impetus.
I did not see it in this grand global scale. And if I say, oh, I saw it this big, I would be honestly lying. You understand? You know, I just knew that, okay, this is a good initiative. It's a really amazing experience I'm trying to create. It's going to be good for my brand. It's going to be good for my legacy. And it's going to help, like, propagate Nigerians in a good light and propagate Nigerian recipes.
I feel so excited as a mother for your child to come and do that business that you did. And she's coming to do it better than you ever thought. So I feel so fulfilled at this age.
This achievement by Hilda has raised the hopes of thousands who, before now, never saw a reason to keep pushing on. Ms. Bassi believes she has given women a voice just by attaining this. It might just be 100 hours and 40 minutes longest cooking marathon, but to many, it is far more than that. It serves as a wake-up call to those with dreams to achieve, but don't believe in themselves enough to achieve it. Thus,
Hello, blessing. And they go on my remind this video go. Ask them ye me go yo. Ask them ye me go. Ask them my reply remind the neighbor. Egom for the neke bapu. Ima lego ne for the negom ke bapu. So I know what the ego can back next month, November, December. First week of December, he sent ke go back and naka. Because some day name the ego. Never asine. Where we me anya kwame. And in the world, got throw all your buffet got throw your bunny. I'm gonna make a throw you got chum or find your block I see. And the agreement is agreement. When die pin can never remove from that money. So keep pulling obi.
Trafficking of young girls for sex work in foreign countries has become rampant and a menace to the society. While working to uncover activities of traffickers and how they use Kano in northwest Nigeria as a route for human trafficking, I observed that syndicates from other West African countries use the same route for the purpose. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and the Nigerian Immigration Services are intensifying efforts to curtail the scourge, but the challenges the agency encounter in performing that task are enormous. Hence, the call for a law that will empower the Nigerian Immigration Service to prosecute human trafficking offenders.
The problem is that we are yet to set. The power of attorney has been given. We are yet to set the immigration legal framework that will administer this process, which will be an alternative to the civil court. So I think it will be unrealistic if we cannot use that chance given to us in the Immigration Act, of which we have the lawyers in the immigration.
Those who are suffering, who are doing things that they didn't plan to go there, who are being forced into prostitution, into carrying drugs, into hard labor.
I met with Favor, who was trafficked to Ghana at the age of 14. She was impregnated and repatriated to Nigeria by the International Organization of Migration, IOM, at 16 and became a mother at 17. Her story is that of a bright, brave child whose determination gave her the opportunity to escape from the traffickers' den, where she was coerced into selling her body for a living by her mistress, simply known as Mama Jean.
They told us everything. She separated us from each other. She sent the other two girls to where they'll be working. So I stayed with her for a month before she told me that she can't be feeding me every day with her own money. So I have to do what brought me to Ghana. So like I was pleading with her when she told me that I'm not coming to school anywhere, that is prostitution, and I'm going to work and pay her the amount of 150,000 before I can work and gain my own money. So I was pleading with her, but she refused. I have no other option because that place is bush. Before we get to the main road side, it's very hard and difficult for us. So I had no other option than to do it. The day I walk, I give her the money. If she likes, she'll give me the one that I'll use and eat. Sometimes she don't give.
Armed with this information, I decided to embark on the journey to Bandar Kwanta in the northern part of Ghana. It was a very long and scary journey, but motivated by curiosity to have a fair idea of what it takes to be trafficked, I embarked on this journey. Traveling to Ghana by air was smooth, but using a Nigerian credit or debit card to move around the West African country was difficult. This is despite the fact that there are many Nigerian banks operating in the country, and it is a member of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS. I risked it all by using the available dollars with me to connect to a flight to Tamale in the northern part of Ghana. What seems like 1 hour trip would have taken about 9 hours by road. I began to ponder on how many days it would have taken the traffickers to smuggle the girls into the country by road. From Tamale, I boarded a vehicle to Bandar Kwanta. It was like a journey of no return as we spent more than 5 hours on the road from Tamale with the help of a map of Ghana. The driver grew weary during the trip. Apart from the mining of gold, the small community is notorious as a place where trafficked Nigerian girls sell their body for money, which many say the police and residents turned blind eyes to.
If the police people, like the immigration people, are coming over to that place, because they normally deport people if they catch them. So they work with the police. If the immigration people are coming, they will go and pay the police people, then they will pack everybody inside the cell as if they arrested us. So if they go, they'll bring us out and take their money. That was how it continued.
I got to the shanty part of the town through the back route, and just as Favor described a trafficker, I could identify Mama G almost immediately. Her voice in the audio clip earlier gave her out.
I have girls that I would like to bring that are willing to come. So I wanted to know what the details will be, what is in it for you, what is in it for me, and everybody will be happy. And how it will be seamless, that there will be no too much talk. Yes, yeah.
Me, their first, I've been through the business, but I'm a Nigerian. But I have many Nigerian girls. Like, if you follow this road down, there is a lady called Smart. Okay? A lady called Smart, about, let me say, 5 madams or 6 madams are dead. And maybe you can go to them too.
After posing to her like a trafficker, she admitted that she was into the business.
Me, I'm not asking. Since I know your Ghana, I want no other people to connect me. Me, one is one. I don't need to. So if you say go to madams, 5 different madams, how many people I won't go? How many people I won't go meet for them?
But the one saying that you work, you have done it before, not that I didn't do it before. But immediately I married, I stopped.
Mama G directed me to another woman who she alleged is more into the business. The woman gave me audience and told me some secrets, but was not sure if I was genuine. Here in Banakwanta, Ghana, here is the place that Favor described for us as the place where she was trafficked to, all the way from Delta State, Nigeria. From observations here, we have more than 1,000 Nigerian girls here operating and used as sex slaves. Many of them wish to come back, and many others are enjoying what they're doing because of this current situation in the country. Here in Banakwanta, Ghana, it was observed that many of these girls use drugs to be able to perform up to expectations.
But me that will bring them.
Okay, then I'll manage them.
Yes.
I'll help you do that. I don't have problem. Because that one I charge 20 million per job. Take care of them. That's 2,000.
20 million per job.
Yes, 2,000.
Okay. For how long?
It depends. They are nice. I don't know. Sometimes good ones can take them 4 months. Some take 5 months, some take a year, some take 7.
It was an encounter that brought me face to face with the realities of trafficked girls, though the women claimed that some of the girls willingly came to the spot to hustle.
Like me, I do daily contribution. Even my buy here, I do daily contribution. So many people, some of who are madams, girls who come from over here, there are people who just come on their own. You understand?
There was little or nothing I could do on the spot to salvage the situation, as I was just a journalist striving to tell the sad stories of the trafficked girls. As I returned to Nigeria after several sleepless nights, I wonder what it would take to eradicate the growing trend of human trafficking. Advocates of the fight against irregular migration highlight how unsuspecting youth become the biggest victims.
So we advise our community, our youths, and whoever that is traveling for a greener pasture, unauthorized, should not do so because there is high risks. You cannot travel to uncertainty area.